Hey, Determined Destiny family, this is Coach Kevin coming back at you with another video for the Determined Destiny mission, purpose, and vision that we got going on here. Our mission is to establish a foundation of lessons and habits and principles that allow our young men to grow up more determined about their destiny so that they can be successful in life. We ask that you subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook at Determined Destiny, subscribe to at Determined Destiny on the YouTube channel, continue to get fresh new content coming out, especially in this 2021 with everything that we've got going on. We're going to really push to make sure that we get some new content out every week so that our young men can be more determined about their destiny. With what's going on in this nation at this time, we've got to have a group of young men that are determined to have a successful life, because it's not going to happen if they don't make it happen. The change and the positivity that we need in society today, we've got to be determined about that. And it starts with our young men living a life that's focused on them being successful and being the change that they want to see. I wanted to share something with you. When we as a society fail to put a focus on young men, when we hear their cries, then when we do this, we send a message to them that we'd rather deal with them as troubled adults rather than investing time and energy into them when they're young. We allow the cycle to continue of mishaps and misunderstandings and bad things and bad decisions to where they end up being broken. And then they end up in prison or in some other negative situation because we as a society did not pay attention to their cries when we should have. Prisons are filled with men who hurt others, but the reality of it is that most of them, they were boys. They were young men who were hurting, but they never got their needs met. And so what we want to do here at Determined Destiny is to take care of our young men now and give them what they need to be successful now so that they don't become broken men as adults. In order to prevent our young men from making decisions that will ruin their life, Determined Destiny is on a mission to give them what they need to be successful. So if you know a young man that is needing to learn some habits, some principles, and here's some words of encouragement, I want to strongly advise that you tell them about Determined Destiny. Tell them to subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn it on the notifications, and every time something good comes out, they'll get notified so they can pour into them the things that they need to be successful. And that's going to be the next video that I share with you guys. Is going to be talking about what we take in mentally and physically and how that affects us long term. And we got to be mindful about that. And I'll get into that one next week. But today we're going to talk about thoughts, perceptions, and reality, on how our thoughts establishes our perceptions of the world around us, and then how that leads to the reality that we end up living in. So if we can control our thoughts and understand that as we control our thoughts, we are establishing our perceptions, then we get to determine what our reality is. Okay, so when we talk about controlling our thoughts, it's about mindfulness. And a lot of people are using this word now, mindfulness, and what that really means and how to really get in touch with your thoughts. And a lot of people begin to understand that the way that we use mindfulness, it allows us to stay in touch with our thoughts and what's going on around us. And if we use it appropriately, we get to establish the thoughts, create the right perception, and have the reality that we really want. Okay, so there's three aspects of mindfulness: your intentions, your attention, and your attitude. Say that again: intentions, attention, and attitude. So when I go into practicing mindfulness, And it's, mindfulness, meditation, people kind of use them synonymously. And it's not, being in that position where your eyes are closed and you're going, that's not mindfulness necessarily. Okay. It's about being aware of what's going on around you and being still enough to gather your thoughts around that. Your intentions of mindfulness. So what are my intentions? What I want to do when I'm getting in a state of mindfulness is be completely aware of what's going on around me and inside of me so that I have better control of that. What's going on around me and inside of me. My intentions are that awareness. The attention that I give to those things, like I'm listening to my breath and my thoughts. I'm paying attention to those thoughts and the sounds around me. I'm giving attention to those things so that my awareness is heightened. And then my attitude about that. What I want to do with my attitude is make sure that I turn those things into positives. I stay positive with all of that. I stay in touch with that and what I'm wanting to get out of my time and my day and my energy. Okay, we've got to have the right attitude with that. And we set that in our mind in that process of mindfulness. Now, mindfulness can be done in like 2 to 3 minutes. Or you can have a time where it's 5 to 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Whatever the time allows, you just have to go into it with the right purpose and intent for that time. We have to stay in touch with our thoughts because our thoughts establish our perceptions. And then our perceptions will create the reality. So let's say, for example, if you constantly think that someone's out to get you, then you live with the perception of that. So then you begin to act on that and it becomes your reality. You do things, if you think somebody's out to get you, you do things with a defensive posture or with distrust. And then that becomes your reality and you get negative outcomes. And that's not what we want. We want to produce positive outcomes. So we use mindfulness as a method so that we can control our thoughts. And it's very important that we learn how to do this. Okay, and it takes practice. But if we're going to be successful at anything, you got to have the right thought process about it. You got to have the right perception of the outcomes that you want so that what happens with reality is what you want it to have happen. It takes practice, but it's a skill that can be learned. It's an important skill that helps us to have a better reality. The Bible teaches if a man thinks it is true, then it is true for that man. Our thoughts determine our perceptions, which establishes our reality. And if we believe that I'm good at something and I'm willing to practice at that and put the time and energy into that, and I establish the right perception of my skills, and then I actually will get better at that. That's the reality part of it. Our thoughts, our perceptions leads to our reality. Here at Determined Destiny, we are determined to have a positive reality, a positive outcome in life. We want our young men to grasp this. Stay tuned with us. We will continue to go deeper. This is 2021 and 2020 kicked us in the teeth, no doubt. But we're going to get up, we're going to rise up, we're going to stand strong and realize that it's game on. And we're going to bring it every single day. And I'm going to bring it to you every single week so that we can be more determined about helping our young men be successful in life. I'm Coach Kevin. I ask that you stay plugged in, visit the website, determineddestiny.org, and be on the lookout for new content weekly. Thank you guys. And hey, let's make 2021 the best that it can be. Let's get determined about that.